Today, it's the Los Angeles Lakers versus the New York Knicks.
This the 333rd consecutive sellout at Madison Square Garden, and they've come out to see two of the best teams in the NBA. The stars have come out. Among the early arrivals, Penny Marshall on hand, Ellen Barkin, Ice Cube, and Knicks season ticket holder Spike Lee, and the stars also on the court. Patrick Ewing very much back on his game, teaming up with one of the league's top scoring duos, Latrell Sprewell and Allen Houston. While the Lakers' great success revolves around the explosive combination of Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe Bryant. The Lakers come in with a record of 54-12. They have been the premier team in the NBA. They've won 20 of the last 21. They're 4 games in front of Portland, while the Knicks at 40-24, third in the East, a game and a half behind Miami. We welcome you. Hi, everybody. I'm Marv Albert, along with Doug Collins. We'll be joined in a moment by Ahmad Rashad. And Doug, these days, the Lakers referring to themselves as the combo. Shaquille O'Neal just loves to put nicknames on various aspects of his club, and he is referring to the combination of the offensive and defensive talents of Kobe Bryant and himself.
Well, Marv, the most dominant duo in the NBA today, and they're doing it, as you said, on both ends of the floor, but the numbers have been staggering in the last 6 games. Look at Shaq, over 40 points a game, a career-high 61. Kobe over 24, a career-high 40. But what they do to the defensive end to change this game has been frightening for the Laker opponents. Since Kobe has come back from injury, this team is 42-8 with he and Shaq in the lineup together. That's frightening, Marv.
As for the Knicks, following the All-Star stretch, this club had its problems. They had their ups and downs, but playing very well as of late. They have won 4 straight. They've won 5 of the last 6, and that includes quality wins in Philadelphia last week, at home against San Antonio last Sunday, and one of the most impressive performances of the season took place in Charlotte on Friday night. And it is no longer just Latrell Sprewell and Allen Houston. This is a team now with other weapons.
Well, Marv, they hope they're putting it all together right now. And in the backcourt, you talk about Allen Houston and Sprewell. They have been the offensive keys for this team. Allen Houston struggled after the All-Star break. His best game since at Charlotte, 27 points. Sprewell has been magnificent over the last 9 games. But if this team is going to get to the NBA Finals, they need help along that front line. Patrick Ewing playing his best basketball of the season. Marcus Camby gives them rebounding and shot blocking. He's back from an injury. And when these two guys play together, they're 19-7. If this team is healthy, still it's arguably the team to beat going into the Eastern Conference playoffs, Marv.
All right, Doug, this crowd is at a playoff pitch. Coming up, it's the New York Knicks and the Los Angeles Lakers. Back in a moment with the opening tip.
Thomas and Peter Vesey will get you back out to the Garden in just a few minutes. But first, one of the big stories in the NBA this week. The Sixers' Allen Iverson suspended for Thursday night's game in Miami after skipping the morning shoot-around. The NBA's leading scorer said he had a headache. Sixers management and coach Larry Brown did not accept the excuse. Iverson later rejoined the team for Friday night's win over the Jazz and had this to say after that game.
I just felt that, my word was good enough, and it wasn't, I mean, maybe I will do it again, maybe I will do it different, but, I mean, I don't know, man. I'm learning things day by day just like y'all, man. I'm human just like y'all. I just can play basketball, that's all.
Larry Brown took the blame in this situation, saying this was a culmination of a series of mispractices by Iverson and that he should have disciplined Allen Iverson earlier. Now, you spoke with Allen right after that conversation you had with the media, a private conversation.
Right. Allen told me that the last thing he wants to do is disrupt this team any more than it has been, but he does not like what's happened. He feels that management, by saying it's an accumulation of things, is just saying that to make itself look good. Yes, he has missed practices before. Yes, he has been late. But he says that he's called in excuses every time. They may not have liked those excuses, but he did do what he was supposed to do. He says if they had told him that he was going to be fined or suspended the very next time, then he would accept what happened. But he is not happy.
Yeah, but Peter, leadership carries responsibility, and Allen is the leader of that team. So he has a different responsibility than the rest of the players on that team. He's the best player. They feed off of him, they act off of him, and they follow his lead and example. So if he's going to miss practices, that's going to set a bad example for everyone else. The responsibility of a leader is to go to practice and then sit out of practice while you're at practice. But you got to show up. And that's maybe what he's saying. He's 24, and he's learning how to become that leader.
A lot of speculation whether or not Larry Brown will be back. He has 2 years left on his contract, but some wonder if he's just fed up with this whole situation.
I don't think so. He's put together a great team, founded on defense and Allen Iverson. He's got $10 million left on his contract. I can't see him walking away from it, Hannah.
Okay, we'll see you at halftime when we talk about Isaiah Ryder, who was released Friday night by the Atlanta Hawks. Shaq and the Lakers getting set to face the Knicks. We'll send you back to Madison Square Garden for the tip-off right after these messages.
You buy Miller Lite. Grab a Miller Lite. It's Miller time. By Census 2000. This is your future. Don't leave it blank. And by Nike.
It is a beautiful 41-degree day in the New York City area as we welcome you indoors to Madison Square Garden. Look at the starting lineups for the Lakers. Glenn Rice, A.C. Green, Shaquille O'Neal, Ron Harper, Kobe Bryant, the Knicks, Latrell Sprewell, Larry Johnson, Patrick Ewing in the backcourt, Charlie Ward, and Allen Houston. Let's check in with Ahmad Rashad. Ahmad?
All right, thanks, Mark. Doug talked about the Knicks being healthy. They're not 100%. Marcus Camby says he still has some swelling in that injured knee. And Patrick Ewing has suffered from the flu the last couple of days. Said he didn't practice much yesterday, but he is set to go today. I also talked with Allen Houston. Allen Houston said in the last 4 games, the Knicks have found that little thing mentally that's got them playing really scrappy the way they played when they made it all the way to the finals of last year. Patrick says it'll take more than scrappy today because this is going to be a war. Marv?
All right, thanks, Ahmad. As you see, the Knicks have had great success at home against Western teams. The Lakers with excellent work against the East. 23 up, 3 down overall. Lakers control the opening tip. O'Neal goes right to work and rebounded by Sprewell.
Well, it's key that Patrick Ewing must stay out of foul trouble, Marv. He cannot pick up 2 early fouls. He needs to be out on the floor today for 30, 35 minutes.
Larry Johnson, played by A.C. Green, and Ewing to the fadeaway. Patrick Ewing also telling us that he's suffering with a slight case of whiplash off a collision he had with Marcus Camby in Charlotte on Friday night.
Well, Shaq's not going to help that today with the way he lowers that shoulders and delivers whiplashes to the opposing centers.
We are just underway at Madison Square Garden. The Knicks have not fared well with noon starts in the past. They actually have had some disasters here at home. Lakers coming off the win over the Pistons in Detroit Friday after being upset by the Wizards to stop the 19-game win streak. O'Neal going at Ewing, and it's a 2-0 Laker lead.
See, Mark, I think when that ball goes into the post to Patrick and you get a little help and he gives it up, I think you've got to make it more difficult for him to get that ball back. That was too easy.
Here's Ward for 3. Charlie Ward, who hit 4 from downtown on Friday night against the Hornets. He was on fire, 8 for 10 from the field overall, and he opens up by hitting the 3.
Well, he shoots over 40% on the year, so he's a very underrated shooter.
Kept alive by Harper. Kobe Bryant being played by Latrell Sprewell, able to whip right by him.
What a matchup that is going to be. Energy, quickness, toughness. Kobe Bryant and Latrell Sprewell.
Lakers 4 and the Knicks 3. Obviously the early start not affecting Kobe. Houston for the Los Angeles Lakers. This game 4 of a 5-game road swing. Once again, Kobe able to do it off the dribble, that time against Houston. Sprewell, yes.
That's a critical matchup there, Mark, because he's got the energy and the ability off that dribble to create shots. So Sprewell's going to be very important, not just with his scoring, but his passing today.
Bryant. Ewing came over to help Larry Johnson on the push.
Kobe Bryant, the electric first step, the hesitation, and then the powerful finish. Recognizing Larry Johnson is back there, and he delivers the vicious slam dunk. And then Sprewell off the quick screen. A.C. Green does not show out, and that little quick jump shot by Sprewell. You'll see a lot of that today, especially from the middle of the floor.
And Doug, Shaquille O'Neal at 51% for the season, but in recent weeks has improved his marksmanship at the line.
Well, you know, I think really it goes back to that Portland game, Marv, in late January, where Shaquille was taken out of the game by Phil Jackson with 12 seconds to go down 2 because he couldn't make free throws. Since that point in time, Shaquille took that very personally and is shooting over 60%. Now, that's not going to win the league scoring or the free throw percentage, but if he can shoot 60%, they're going to be tough to beat.
But you can see the confidence and the delivery, the release is much better than it had been in the past. Offensive foul. It's on Johnson, so that is his second. Lakers 6 and the Knicks 5. 3 minutes gone by. Harper lost it. Ward with the steal. Oh, what a pass. Ward for Ewing.
How about Patrick running the floor that time? You know, Shaq has got a little bit of a sore hamstring, Marv, and he's not been running as well, and Patrick took advantage of it that time.
Knicks by 1. Another bad pass. Ward on the intercept. Sprewell is open. Sprewell. Jeff Van Gundy was telling us earlier in talking about the bad starts on the early games that the Knicks cannot afford to go down 8-10 points against a club like the Lakers, because if that happens, fouls called on Ewing is first. It could be over early.
Well, I told Jeff before the game, I said, Jeff, you got to start putting some extra shots of espresso and some lattes on these guys' desks to get them fired up here before the game. And I used to do that with Joe D in Detroit. He would get into the sweat and come out. He'd be ready to roll in that first quarter.
So a little extra latte for Joe Dumars.
Exactly right.
Did it work?
It exactly worked. He's going into the Hall of Fame.
On Harper for 3. Ron Harper still very dangerous and has had a solid season for Phil Jackson in Los Angeles.
Well, he's sort of a glue for this team. He'll make those kind of shots, but really what he does is just facilitate their offense, get them where they need to be, and then plays excellent defense.
A technical foul called on the Knicks. Jeff Van Gundy hit with the technical by Steve Javie. And Glenn Rice will shoot the tee. Steve Javie is not an official that you want to mess with.
No, and you know, he's a very good official, but he's not going to let you get away with much. He's going to stop it early. Marv, especially in an emotional game like this. You've been in this Garden for some huge games. There's electricity in this. This is a big, big game for both of these teams. And Patrick Ewing, you see him there with the good position defense against Shaquille O'Neal. That's what the argument was all about.
Lakers 9, Knicks 7. Houston off the dribble, beats Rice, and then is fouled. A.C. Green came over to help, called for the foul.
See, I would love to see Allen Houston do more of this. Rather than take that one dribble pull-up jump shot, to get in the lane, he's a tremendous leaper. Use that ability, Marv, to get to the free throw line more so he doesn't put so much pressure on his jump shooting.
A.C. Green raising his hand, trying to pick up the foul, but it's called on Shaquille O'Neal.
And Allen Houston, you see what he's doing, you know, last year as opposed to this season. His numbers are up, his shooting is up, and he's found a comfort level here in New York. And I think a lot of it, Marv, was that shot against Miami in Game 5. They vault into the playoffs, and Allen got this little swagger that I'd never seen him have before.
Allen Houston, after the All-Star break, did struggle a bit, but showing some signs of coming back at a 10 of 15, 27-point game against the Hornets the other night. O'Neal drawing the double. Here's Bryant. Rice gets the new possession.
Big key for the Lakers is rebounding. When they out-rebound their opponents, Mark, they're 43-2. So you've got to do a job on the boards against this team.
O'Neal getting possession.
When it's that deep, Patrick cannot foul. He's got to give up the 2 points because he's got to stay on the floor.
Lakers 11. And the Knicks 9. The Knicks here at the Garden, 27-7. They've won 17 of their last 20. They have had road problems, although they have won their last 2 on the road. Allen Houston with his first field goal, and the game is tied at 11. Lakers 25-8 on the road. Glenn Rice for a 2-point LA lead. Lakers had the 19-game win streak stopped in Washington the other night. The largest win streak in the NBA in 29 years. So now they're on another roll. They've won 20 of their last 21.
Two proud Warriors here. Patrick Ewing running the floor after the turnover, and he gets these slam dunks from the pass from Charlie Ward, and then deep post position, Shaquille, little finger roll, gets it back on the other end.
We talked about some of the problems the Knicks have had with early starts, and we talked about that with Knicks coach Jeff Van Gundy.
Our last 3 afternoon games before 1 o'clock starts against quality opponents, Miami, Utah, and Philly, we've all been down 7 to 10 points after first quarters. And we cannot play from down in this game. Our team, I don't know what it is about early afternoon starts. We haven't performed well early. Now, we've won 2 of those 3 games, but our effort in the first quarter has been substandard. So I'm just worried about our start. I want our guys to know the game starts at noon and not 1.
The game starts at noon, not 1. Well, they're off to a pretty good start. Ewing has tied it at 13.
I think their energy level is very good, and you talk about the bad starts in the 3 games, and they were down by 10 to Miami, 7 to Philly, 7 to Utah. But today the energy level is good.
Shaquille O'Neal keeping it alive.
7 to 3 now on the boards right now. That's a big stat. Within that triangle offense, Marv, the one thing it gives you is very good offensive rebound position.
Lakers 15, Knicks 13. Houston, yes.
Now, Marv, what happened? Remember, Allen Houston drove to the basket, got fouled, made 2 free throws. Since that point in time, he's made 2 jump shots. I've always said for a jump shooter, get a layup or get to the line early.
Houston ties the game at 15. O'Neal. Knicks staying with a single coverage on Shaquille O'Neal. Ewing putting the moves on Rice. Got bottled up. Hopper is on it. Kobe for 3. Sprewell was looking to run, but the Lakers got back. Just under 5 remaining in the first quarter. Larry Johnson. And a foul, a holding foul. Foul committed by Rice. That is his first. And here comes Kurt Thomas replacing Larry Johnson. Kurt Thomas has done an excellent job both as a starter and off the bench.
Well, Kurt Thomas also will play a little bit against Shaq. He's going to give a lot of size away. But you might see Jeff try to buy a couple minutes just to keep Patrick out of foul trouble. Lakers
take a timeout. 4:48 to go in the first. Tied at 15. For Phil Jackson and his Los Angeles Lakers, Doug, it has been an incredible season of streaks, mostly on the winning end.
Well, Mark, let's look at a breakdown. They lose 4 of their first 12. Now, remember, Kobe missed the first 15 games with injury. Then they went 23 out of 24. There's your 1 loss. Then they lose, after they lose to Portland, they lose 6 of 9. They're a little bit of a funk. Then they go 19 straight. They lose to Washington. They beat Detroit the other night, so now they're on a new streak. So I don't know whether that would make the Czar proud, but I'm trying to hang in there, Marv.
There is nothing that will make the Czar proud. But Professor Collins with a finely tuned lecture. His next topic, the theory of evolution. Very impressive. Lakers and Knicks tied at 15. Just under 5 remaining in the first quarter. Here's Sprewell. Took the bump from Bryant. So Kobe Bryant committing on his first foul. Latrell Sprewell, excellent foul shooter. Just under 87% on the line to shoot 2. Latrell looking for points 3 and 4. Well, you can log on to NBA.com, where breaking news, video highlights, and live radio broadcasts for every NBA game are just a mouse click away. Go to NBA.com's Courtside Live for up to the second box scores, play-by-play and shot charts for every game. Plus, you can log on Wednesday, March 22nd, for a live chat with rookie Steve Francis of the Houston Rockets. That's NBA.com, your ultimate online resource for all things NBA. Bryant to the fadeaway. And Houston able to chase down the back tap. Houston all the way. Ewing. Now Thomas. Kurt Thomas. Not bad. Kurt Thomas with the offensive rebound and dribbles to the corner and hits the jump.
Mark, that was great energy, though, by both Thomas and Ewing. Both of those guys tried to tip Allen Ewing's miss in. These big guys are really running the floor well here in this first quarter.
Knicks in the midst of a 6-0 run. Kobe Bryant. Well, Kobe off here at the start, 1 for 6 from the field.
Remember, his only basket was that dunk he got early in the game, so he's missed his last 5 shots.
Sprewell. It's a very difficult move to defend. The step back. And then able to hit.
Well, you have to honor that quickness because he can go by you, so you've got to give him some space. And if he's hitting that jump shot, you really can't guard it.
Knicks 21, Lakers 15. Rice looking to post. Played very well by Houston. Crowd wanted to travel. Now Thomas defending on Shaq. And he gets the roll.
You know, that's okay, Mark. You could live with that. You know, the other guys have sort of been taken out of the game right now. They're going through Shaquille O'Neal. Make him make those kind of shots.
Shaquille has 10 points. Ewing call for steps.
Kurt Thomas does a nice job here. You want to prevent him from getting in there and laying that ball in the basket. He forces here about an 8 or 9 foot jump hook, and he gets the kind roll. But if you're Jeff Van Gundy, he said, look, we'll live with it. That's good defense. We didn't have to double team. Just stay locked in to Kobe and Rice. Don't let them get going here now.
Derek Fisher has come on for the first time, providing a breather for Ron Harper. Here's A.C. Green. And it's Shaquille O'Neal with the putback.
See, Marv, those are the shots that just break your back. You get A.C. Green to shoot a jumper, you miss it, and then you give Shaquille the little putback. That's twice now he's done that to the Knicks here in the period.
Bad pass by Sprewell. You mentioned the hamstring injury suffered by Shaquille O'Neal. We were talking about it yesterday with Phil Jackson, and Phil said it hasn't really affected him that much. It counts and the foul at the offensive end, but he's just not as active on the boards, and it hurts him in terms of blocking out.
Well, you're going to see Shaquille O'Neal. Look at him right here. Look at the position that he has, inside position. And Kurt Thomas has absolutely no opportunity to get around him. And then the next time they go right back to him in the post. They front in the post. The weak side help gets there. But Shaq just overpowers them inside. I mean, this guy, you know, no question this man has become the MVP of the league this season, Marv. He's doing it on both ends of the floor. And when you set your game plan as a coach, you got to say, what can we do to somewhat limit Shaquille O'Neal without letting these other guys, you know, get their 20, 30 points? He is the most dominant player in the game today.
Shaq, thus far this afternoon, 6 of 8 from the field, 14 points. Marcus Camby has come on for the first time. Marcus Camby in his 3rd game back since the arthroscopic surgery. Played briefly against the Rockets earlier in the week and had a good one against the Hornets on Friday. O'Neal with the spin move. So the Knicks now have Ewing with Camby and Thomas on the front line. Ward and Houston in the backcourt. Beautiful backdoor pass. Camby could not score. And a loose ball foul against the Knicks. It's on Thomas.
So that's the one where Marcus Camby's got to take one dribble, take that ball to the other side, and power dunk that. He made himself a 6'5" player instead of a guy who's 6'11", and then Kurt Thomas goes over and over the back and gets the foul. Great pass, though, from Charlie Ward.
Second foul committed by Thomas. 2 apiece on Thomas and Johnson. Shaquille with the Lakers' last 8 points. Rice. Aside from Shaq, Lakers getting no offense.
And I think that Jeff Van Gundy says that's one of our things. We can't let all 3 of these guys get their points. If Shaq gets 30+ and we can do a job on Kobe and Rice, we think we have a chance to win this game. He thinks if they can score 90, speaking of the Knicks, they can win the game today.
Lakers 9 for 22 from the field overall. Fisher off the dribble. The Knicks and the Lakers tied at 21 as we come up on 1 minute left in the first. Ewing. Open shot for Houston for three.
Allen Houston has got a nice rhythm in this game, Mark. You've seen him a lot this year. You do the Knicks games, and he's in one of those rhythms now. So you've got to look for him. If you're Charlie Ward or Childs that comes in, you've got to look for Allen Houston while he's hot.
Houston has 9. Knicks by 3. Shaquille O'Neal getting great position and a good pass from Derek Fisher. 16 of the Lakers' 23 points scored by Shaq.
Well, he has 6 paint catches and he has 10 points. So when he's caught it down there, he's scored most every time.
Houston. Thomas try to keep it alive, and the Lakers will hold for a final possession. O'Neal has the Lakers' last 10 points. Knicks by 1. 10 seconds left in the first quarter. Kobe Bryant putting the move on Allen Houston. Kicks it out. Here's Glenn Rice for 3. Ward fires. So after 1 here at Madison Square Garden in New York, it's the New York Knicks with a 24-23 lead on the Los Angeles Lakers. A brilliant start for Shaquille O'Neal. As you saw, 7 of 10 from the field for 16 points. 1 point Knick lead as we head to the second. You are watching the NBA on NBC. Moments ago, this the scene inside the Laker huddle.
There. I just wanted AC to register that Thomas is a good post-up player and a pretty good shooter now. They got a new lineup. He's kind of likes to play their enforcer role. Their Oakley role. Come on out and bang guys to get the charge.
Rebounds on both ends, AC.
All right, here we go. Right quick.
I think what Phil's talking about there, when you substitute and you bring a new guy in, the difference that he brings, he says Kurt Thomas is going to bang, he's going to go to the offensive boards, he's going to bring a physical presence, a lot like Oakley, and you've got to respect that little medium-range jump shot. So this is what you talk about when a guy gets a substitution. But you see him going to the boards here. That's the play that I talked about with Ewing and Kurt Thomas, both following Allen Houston's miss. He steps up and makes that little medium-range jump shot. So, Mark, you have to honor that shot.
Kurt Thomas on the floor with 2 fouls up front with Marcus Camby and Patrick Ewing. Latrell Sprewell is back, and Chris Childs has come on for the first time. Foul is called on Kobe Bryant. That is his second.
You've got to keep attacking Kobe Bryant, though, Marvin. My estimation, as I've watched the Lakers play this year, Kobe Bryant and Gary Payton have become the 2 best defensive guards in the NBA. Gary Payton has been there. I think Kobe has put himself, if I had to vote today, he would be my first-team all-defensive selection.
And Jeff Van Gundy in our conversation earlier agrees. It's amazing how far Kobe has come at the defensive end. Here's Thomas giving it up. Ewing eluding Rick Fox, who just came on. And the Knicks now lead 26-23. So the Lakers have gone to their bench, and the bench has played exceptionally well. Brian Shaw, who has progressed as the season has gone on, has checked in, as has Robert Horry and Rick Fox. Only Shaquille O'Neal remains from the starting lineup. Bad pass. And Shaq could not control.
And Mark, remember when Phil was in Chicago, he used to like to do this. When he took out Michael, he'd keep Scotty out with 4 bench players to sort of solidify. He's doing that with Shaq right now with Kobe in foul trouble.
Sprewell posting on Shaw. Shot clock at 6. Ewing lunging for it. The tip by Camby. Camby again is fouled.
That's the Marcus Camby that we saw in the NBA playoffs last year. The second shot, being quick around the basket. He's not a primary offensive player. He's a guy that's going to feed off missed shots and things in the open court. You see him, great hustle by Ewing. He gives him a chance. And then watch the second effort by Camby as he goes up and he gets fouled. This has to look very good right now to New York. They need his activity, especially coming off of that knee injury that really sidelined him for a while.
Shaquille O'Neal called for his second foul. Marcus Camby in his third game back after missing 17 games, recovering from the arthroscopic surgery on his right knee.
But, you know, when you look at the numbers, if you look at New York, you'd say two of their weaknesses, shot blocking and rebounding. Camby can give them two of those things. They need him to be healthy and on the floor, Marv.
Knicks 27, Lakers 23. Marv Albert, Doug Collins, Ahmad Rashad from the Garden. Shot clock at 5. Here's Horry. Lakers shooting, particularly from the perimeter, has not been there. They double up on Ewing. Camby on the give and go. Good look by Ewing, although Camby was not able to convert. Shaquille O'Neal, last touched by the Knicks.
Just a subtle little thing that time, but as Horry cut across the lane, he gave just enough screen, and Shaq just right behind him stepped right in for deep post position. Those are the subtle little things you see, like you say, well, how did the guy get the ball so close to the basket? Mark, just a little bump got him that open.
And Patrick Ewing hears it from the crowd, sits down with 6 points, 5 rebounds. Larry Johnson is back. Rick Fox off the mark. And another Knick rebound. They lead by 4. Childs met by Fisher. Here's Childs. And the Knicks extend to a 6-point advantage.
See, I think New York has to keep their defense up the floor right now, pressure the basketball, and force the bench to try to make some plays.
The Lakers have gone nearly 9 minutes between points by someone other than the man with the basketball. Shaquille O'Neal draws the double and hits.
Wow, how good
going glass.
How about the footwork of the big man? He was shut off and spun back the other way and kissed it off the glass.
18 for Shaquille O'Neal. Larry Johnson. Thomas. Back out for Camby. The shot clock running down. And Camby is fouled. Timeout has been taken. 9:16 remaining in this first half. Here's the move by Shaq. You mentioned the footwork. Doing it over Kurt Thomas. It's the Knicks by 4. We'll be right back.
9:16 to go in the second quarter, and Marv, take a look at these numbers. Shaq is really doing well, but 2 for 11 for Kobe and Glenn Rice. Kobe in foul trouble, so Shaquille O'Neal has been the offensive show to keep this team in the game. The offensive rebound and the powerful finish, just a back down and the little jump hook over the undersized Kurt Thomas. Then a great inside offensive rebound, and the follow-up once again gets fronted in the post. The great footwork, the spinning jump shot. He scored 12, the last 12 Laker points to keep them in the game. You see what he's doing, but I think if you're Jeff Van Gundy, you have to say, I can live with this. If I can keep Kobe and Rice out of the game, maybe we can wear Shaq down as it goes along.
And the Lakers, aside from Shaq, have missed their last 10 shots. Knicks 29, Lakers 25. We are early in the second quarter. The Knicks with 4 straight wins. They have won 5 of the last 6. They come off one of the most impressive victories of the season, beating the Hornets Friday night in Charlotte, 118-99. One of those games where it all went well, shooting over 50% from the field. And the Lakers with a victory over Detroit in Detroit on Friday after losing to the Wizards on Wednesday. That stopped the 19-game win streak. Childs cheating over to help out. Oh, what a shot. A jump hook, a line drive from some 10 feet away.
Well, and he looked like he was going to pass the ball out. In one motion, he just spun and shot it. I mean, that's a great shot.
Camby, once again, had the shot but could not put it down, and the Lakers will give it back.
See, Camby's flipping everything at the basket, Marv. He's not going strong. Look, it looks like he's going to pass the ball out here, Shaq, and he just turns in one motion and shoots that jump hook. That's an indefensible shot. You know, we know that Jabbar had the sky hook that no one could stop. That's a shot that you say, you know what, good shot.
Yeah. Larry Johnson trying to squeeze through and drew the foul. Foul committed by Fox. That is his second. Lakers with their 4th team foul. The Knicks do not have any. Shaquille O'Neal treating the Knicks as he treated the LA Clippers several weeks ago. But unfortunately for the Lakers, there has been no other offense. He is on a 60-point pace. Childs for three. Thomas with another offensive rebound and the assist.
Now, since Thomas and Campy have come in the game, that's 20-13 on the boards. Now the Lakers are up 7. They were trailing by 6 on the boards early in the game. That's what these two guys have brought off the bench.
Kobe Bryant trying to get back into it. Open shot for Brian Shaw. That's a three. Brian Shaw, as we mentioned earlier, has come a long way from the start of the season.
Well, he's got the feeling that, you know, he can make that shot. He's an experienced player, and you've got to trust him. And now he's finding his role in there. That's a big boot to keep his team around here now.
And there's a comfort zone between Brian Shaw and Shaquille O'Neal. They spent 3 years together as members of the Orlando Magic. Campy from behind breaks it up. It'll be Laker ball. Phil Jackson staying with the bench aside from Shaquille O'Neal. And a foul with Ori run into.
You know, second shots create such opportunities for you. You miss the open jump shot. Look at Kurt Thomas really fight to get this ball back. And then here's Childs right there, and he's going to cut to the basket. A great bounce pass, a second shot opportunity and a layup. New York needs some more of those. Foul
was committed by Childs. Now Thomas defending on O'Neal. Too easy for Shaq over Kurt Thomas. He now has 22 points in all.
You know, Marv, I think the one thing that you've got to stay away from if you're New York is all of a sudden you say, you know what, we've got to go down there and double and triple team Shaq. You do that now and it frees up everybody else. They're in the game right now. It's a tie game. Shaq is wearing them out in the post, but they got to hope that as this game goes on, it will take its toll on him.
Tied at 32. We'll be back in a moment.
Now, Shaquille O'Neal, what they're doing with him this year, Marv, is because of the new rules, they're starting him away from the ball and bringing him to the ball. And you can't bump the guy like you could last year. So he's getting such great deep post position that it's almost impossible to guard him. So Kurt Thomas had to go over to Steve Javie and said, now, what can I do here in the post to play against him?
What's happening is that when Shaq goes across the middle, you can't just cut in front of him. You have to establish a position. So if you cut in front of him, there's contact.
Can I ride him, though, a little bit?
Not too much. Yeah, because they're really cutting down on that, all right?
So Steve Javie with the interpretation for Kurt Thomas.
Well, see, Marv, when you start out on the ball side, you can get in front of the guy. What they're doing, the Lakers, they're flashing him to the ball, and when he does that and catches it, you're at his mercy down there on that block, especially if he's in the paint.
Knicks and Lakers tied at 32 with 6:50 to go in the first half. Patrick Ewing is back. Phil Jackson staying with the same unity as Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe Bryant from the starting lineup, along with Rick Fox, Brian Shaw, and Robert Horry. In single coverage. This time it's Ewing defending. Childs over to help. Shaq this time not getting the friendly roll. Sprewell working off the pick. Ewing. Patrick Ewing with 8 points.
You know, Marv, I think the one thing that I've seen with Patrick as the season has gone on, and you've seen more, he's starting to get more comfortable making that little jump shot. I thought he was off, out of sync when he came back. He's getting more productive with that shot.
Yes, we're seeing more of the drop step. Defensively at times there have been problems. But he's come on the last 2-3 weeks. That was intended for Campy. Here comes Kobe. Kobe Bryant, the crossover is fouled by Chris Childs.
Once again, Kobe Bryant, he's struggling to get in the game. He's not been able to get a shot. He's 1 for 6 from the floor. What do? You get involved with the defense. Now you take the ball, you go down, you see you've got Patrick Ewing back. You're going to attack him. Patrick slows him up just enough for Chris Childs to be able to take the foul.
Kobe continues to have his difficulties in the first half. Well, a couple of new must-see comedies headed your way this Thursday. Daddy-O premieres after an all-new Friends, and Battery Park premieres after an all-new Frasier. The evening tops off with an all-new ER. Daddy-O and Battery Park premiering Thursday on a night of must-see TV. Knicks by 1, 34-33. They double up on Sprewell. Camby. Ewing, way off. Johnson able to make the catch to keep it alive. Ewing hesitating this time and takes it to the basket. Nice fake. Crowd looking for a foul. Here's Kobe Bryant. Yes. So Kobe with the stroke.
See, Mark, once again, you get a guy who's struggling a little bit. He gets fouled. He gets to the free throw line, makes a free throw, and then comes down and hits the jump shot. It's just amazing what it does to your confidence when you can get to that line.
Kobe had missed his previous 6 shots. He has not played very frequently here at the Garden. Played in the All-Star game. Allen Houston with a nice pass. And this time, Camby is able to hit, so the Knicks now lead by 1, 36-35. Kobe Bryant's first game here, we were talking about it with him yesterday, played, 3 minutes, he said, and then did not have a good game a couple of years ago. Did not shoot well. Bryant on the steal. Kicks it out to Fox for 3. Yes!
The growth of Kobe Bryant. Last year, he would have jackknifed that shot in the lane. He got in the lane and turned and pitched it out to Rick Fox for a 3. That's the growth of a young player becoming a superstar.
Sprewell. And Johnson. And Fox got involved. Foul on Johnson, who took a poke in the eye. That's 3 on Larry Johnson. Doug, you talk about the difference in Kobe Bryant. There was a benchmark game the Lakers point to. May have been December 19th in Toronto. Kobe committing 6 turnovers, which brought forth some criticism from Shaquille O'Neal. And since then, Kobe's ball handling and decision-making has dramatically improved, and the chemistry between the two has come a long way.
Well, I was watching that game in Toronto, and Vince Carter and Kobe, it was their show in the fourth quarter. The Lakers had a big lead, and Kobe was going back and forth with Vince Carter. Phil let him do it, but let him know afterwards, we're not going to go there anymore. It's not a personal challenge anymore. This is a team game.
Charlie Ward has made his return. Here's Bryant. Coming up on 4 minutes remaining in the first half. And the Lakers have a 2-point lead. Foul is called. Rick Fox stepping in the way of Allen Houston. That's foul number 3 committed by Fox. Let's check in with Ahmad Rashad for more on Kobe Bryant.
Thanks, Marv. I was talking to Kobe before the game, and I asked him, Kobe, would you prefer to win a scoring title or be named Defensive Player of the Year? He said, I prefer to be the Defensive Player of the Year because everybody knows I can score. As far as all those other awards, I'm going to win them all someday anyway. And he said that, and it wasn't like he was bragging, very matter of fact. Marv?
That's the politically correct answer, though, to say I'd rather win defensive honors.
Well, I coached Michael Jordan in 1988. I was very blessed. And Michael Jordan was the MVP of the league, was the scoring title, and was the Defensive Player of the Year. So he did do it on both ends of the floor.
Knicks and Lakers tied at 38. Bryant with a nice pass, and Shaquille O'Neal now has 24 points. But what a beautiful setup by Kobe Bryant. And apparently Ken Bauer feels the ball is a bit wet, and he asks for a towel, then takes care of it himself. That last pass by Kobe, his 5th assist. Lakers by 2.
You can see what they've done defensively. They've got Kobe on Ward now because of his foul problem. They've kept Shaw into play, Sprewell, and Rice on Houston.
Camby. Ewing. Rejected by Ori. Camby is fouled.
There's a lot of ways to win basketball games, and for Kobe Bryant, his offense is not there, so he's going to penetrate. And that combo that we talked about in our open, there's part of it right there, the penetrate and the kick. And Shaq with a powerful finish. Thought this might have been a goaltend. Patrick throws this ball up there right around the rim. That looked very, very close to being around that cylinder. Then Camby with his second effort and got fouled and gets to the free throw line, Mark.
Foul committed by Ori. Marcus Camby, a 65% free throw shooter, will shoot a second, but a timeout is called. It's the Lakers by 1.
At the half, we'll hear from many of the celebrities who attend Laker games in Los Angeles and Knicks games in New York. They have a little rivalry of their own.
Let's really say it straight out. Staples cannot compare to the Garden.
Say go New York, go New York, go! Go New York, go!
Plenty more from the NBA's celebrity fans at the half. Also, we'll talk about former Atlanta Hawk Isaiah Ryder, who was released by the team on Friday night. Let's head back to the Garden and rejoin Ahmad.
Thanks, Hannah. I'm here with Ice Cube and Spike Lee. Now, these two people here are loyal friends because it takes a lot of nerve. You got to be a real loyal fan to wear a Laker uniform here out here to the Knicks game.
Well, you know, I bleed purple, so it's no problem to wear, you know, my Laker colors up here in the Garden. You know, I feel good. You know, we right up there under the basket yelling for purple. Snoop Dogg. Snoop. You know, so it's going down.
So now, Spike, I've seen you do this all over the league, wear your Knicks stuff.
Yeah, but the worst place is Indiana. They kill me there.
So now, who has the best fans between New York and Los Angeles?
I mean, I have much love for L.A., but Cube, you know, you guys come to the game late and leave early.
Well, you know, we only deal with the winners. You know, when you're winning, it's a lovely thing. When you ain't, it's time to go.
All right, guys, thanks. All right, back to you, Mark.
All right, thanks, Ahmad. Ahmad officiating between Ice Cube and Spike Lee. Lakers with a 40-39 lead as we come up on 3 minutes remaining in the first half. Bryant for Shaw. Shot clock at 4. Marcus Camby has done a good job. Shaquille O'Neal's the high point man. He is 24. When you consider, as our statistician, Mr. Stats Elliott Cal points out, Shaq with 24 points by 10 a.m. Pacific time. Not bad.
Not bad.
Allen Houston freeing himself up.
I think he got away with a little left shove there with his left arm. A little bump. Glenn Rice fell back. You can't fall for that, Allen. That kind of space, he's going to knock that shot down. But Mark, the Lakers being out rebounded by 11 rebounds. Now, Camby has been a real big player off that bench.
Houston, the high man for the Knicks. He has 13. Glenn Rice is back. Good job by Camby defensively. And Ori is fouled.
Allen Houston loves to either catch and create space and shoot it, or he loves to shoot with one dribble. Watch this. One dribble, pull, 2 dribbles, and then he pulls back with a little space and shoots that open jump shot. What a pretty release. You've got 2 of the prettiest jump shooters in the NBA guarding each other right now. Allen Houston's off to a great start. Glenn Rice has been struggling today, has not found his offense yet.
Glenn Rice just 1 of 5 from the field. Marcus Camby called for the foul as first to put Ori at the line. Look, tonight 4 men are trapped on Alaska's Mount McKinley. It's a Dateline NBC Survivor story. And then on the Sunday night movie, Michael Douglas, Val Kilmer star in The Ghost and the Darkness. It's an action thriller based on the true story of 2 big game hunters risking it all for the ultimate prize. That's The Ghost and the Darkness tonight at 8:30, 7:30 Central after Dateline on NBC.
Marv, I always think the last 2 minutes of quarters and halves are vital. Tie game. Can somebody create some distance here in the last 2:10?
Glenn Rice all over Allen Houston, and as a result, Houston came up short. Bryant to the hook. Oh, Kobe Bryant. That was out of the slam dunk contest.
Mark, that was off the wrong foot. He's a right-handed dunker. You normally jump off your left foot. He jumped off his right foot. 2 spectacular dunks today by Kobe.
7 points with 5 assists for Kobe Bryant, although off to the slow start. Kobe looking for a double dribble call on Charlie Ward. Sprewell. And the Knicks get the new possession. Camby over Shaq. Lakers with the ball and a 2-point lead as we come up on 1 minute left in the first half. O'Neal. Difficult shot, fading, moving to his left.
Yeah, they'll live with that again. That's a forced shot there. Shaq, I think, looked like he was going to pass in the last minute, had to take the shot. But New York's going to take a 20-second timeout here. They're getting good shots, just not converting.
55 seconds to go in the half. With the timeout, we'll take a break.
See the
And you can see the significance of the rebounding picture. Lakers at 43-2 when they out-rebound opponents. And to this point, the Knicks have had a 29-19 edge. Shot clock at 10. Ewing to the drop step.
Get a 2 for 1 here if Kobe takes a quick shot.
And he does from downtown. Half minute remaining in this first half. Sprewell putting moves on. Here's Ward for 3. Charlie Ward on fire from downtown. 2 of 2 from beyond the line.
Now it's interesting. Kobe went back to double team. I don't think he needed to. That freed up Charlie Ward, who's shooting the ball very, very well. Make Ewing score against Shaq.
The Knicks by 1. Chant of defense from the crowd. Final seconds of the first half. Ewing with the rebound at the buzzer. And a good first half here at the Garden. It's the Knicks 44 and the Lakers 43. Shaquille O'Neal with 24 points, 11 of 17 from the field, while the Knicks led by Allen Houston with 13, 4 of 9 shooting. Patrick Ewing with 8 points, along with 8 rebounds. Let's go over to Ahmad.
Well, first we have a conversation with Phil. Alan, a lot's been said about this early start of this game. Do you think that's having any effect on the game?
Sometimes it does, but in a big game like this, I don't think it has much of an effect because both teams know the magnitude of the game.
Things you must do in the second half.
I think we got to get up into them a little bit more. They got some easy shots that we didn't. They'll make in the second half if we don't force them not to.
All right. Good luck to you.
All right. Thanks.
All right. Back to you, Marv.
All right. Thanks, Ahmad. The LA Lakers trying to make it 21 of the last 22. The Knicks with 4 straight wins, 5 of the last 6 coming in, and at the half, it's the Knicks 44 and the Lakers 43. Stay tuned for Hannah Storm, Isaiah Thomas, and Peter Vesey in our New York studio with Net Zero at the half. Back in a moment.